There are mushrooms that have been used in Western medicine. Penicillin, for example, is a really effective antibiotic. Before it was synthesized during the Civil War, when a soldier would get wounded, they would slap a piece of moldy bread on his wound to benefit from those antibiotic properties, so he wouldn't get an infection.
Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin in 1927. The problem was that they couldn't find strains that could be commercialized, that could produce enough of it in a commercially economic fashion. We fast forward, and in 1942, a group of researchers in Chicago went shopping, and a lab assistant found a cantaloupe that was rotting with a beautiful golden mold. And from that strain, we got the first hyper-producing strain of penicillium. Penicillin literally saved tens of thousands of soldiers' lives. The Brits had this, but the Germans and the Japanese did not. It's been suggested that the discovery of this hyper-producing strain of penicillin was a significant influence in winning World War II. Alexander Fleming then received the Nobel Prize in 1945 in recognition of the huge impact that penicillin had on human health.
Now, what was interesting, if you look at double-labeled cells, in other words, the birth of new neurons, we saw an increase in neurogenesis.
Neurogenesis literally means neuro for nerves and genesis, rebirth or beginning of. The regrowing of neurons. They were not using the same neurological pathways you have in the past. This is really exciting because it means that the brain has a plasticity about it, is able to heal, is able to grow. It just needs the right compounds to help it develop new neurological pathways. We're all getting older. We'll all suffer some degree of dementia. What compounds can we take that enhances and preserves neurogenesis? I know many, many people who would not dare take a psilocybin mushroom trip. But the concept of them taking 1/50th of a dose, something like that, and it causes neurogenesis that might make them smarter and a better mood or happier, that's a whole different subject.
I've been diagnosed with prostate cancer. My diagnosis was so bad that it was, they weren't giving me any chance whatsoever.
My diagnosis was kidney cancer, finding out that you may want to get your affairs in order.
I first found out about the study when my oncologist gave me a pamphlet. He said, here's something that might be able to help you with the anxiety. And I was accepted into the study.
The most important thing is to remember that you're always safe. And a recommendation is that whatever is coming up, that you allow it, that you don't have to like it, but you say, okay, rather than trying to run away from it. Once a volunteer is enrolled in the study, they're with us for the preparation, the psilocybin sessions, and the integration follow-ups after. I have been a guide for around 350 psilocybin sessions, and then about 1,000 of the preparatory and integration meetings.
All right.
Okay, lift your head up. It's really just about experiencing what comes up as psilocybin takes effect.
And the intense part of this journey, this world and things that matter to most people, family and all that, that wasn't even what it was about. They say anything mystical can't be explained. It's something like that. It's a feeling of such immense power that you can't even imagine. I've never felt anything like it before. It was about being in a place of infinite space and just being there.
There's an experience of positive mood, sometimes open-heartedness, love, transcendence of time and space, and then finally it's thought to be ineffable. People say, I can't describe that experience.
In my mind, I said, okay, hold it. If I give myself over to you, can you promise me that I will be in at least as strong a shape as when I entered this room? And I felt a voice that I needed to heed. Do you think I would disrespect my own handiwork? This is the voice from on high saying, do you think I would disrespect my child? And I felt so beautiful. I felt like I have never felt before. My sense of being loved, of being worthy of love, of being cared for, of being important to someone. It's huge.
Keep going into it. Doing beautiful.
One-third of individuals in the study said it's the single most spiritually significant experience of their lives. About 70% say it's among the 5 most personally meaningful experiences of their lives. And you say, well, so what does that mean, you know? And initially I thought, I wonder if they don't have pretty dull lives. But no, people would say, you know, when my firstborn came into this world, I'll never forget that. And life has never been the same since. Or my father passed away. That was deeply moving to me. I'm different now in the world. And so, you know, it's kind of like that.
The most glorious part was that it made me feel more comfortable with living, you know, because you're not afraid of dying.
Frankly, I'm just a laboratory scientist, and I wasn't prepared for that.
From the memory of the transcendental state of consciousness, many people report less anxiety, less depression, less preoccupation with pain, closer interpersonal relationships, and perhaps most impressive, they claim to have a loss of the fear of death.
It recalibrates how they see death. It's been amazing hearing them talk about this idea of love. Many of them spoke about how nature itself is something like this substance called love. And having touched that, they've recalibrated it and shaped how they die differently.